these jars is actually a variety of different herbs and spices that we use for customers, where they come in and they can purchase these herbs by the ounce, or we actually can create a different variety of blends for them. And so what is an herb, right? An herb is anything from the smallest weed to the tallest tree that offers a medicinal value for us as humans or even animals. And herbs have been used for thousands of years for medicinal purposes. People will use them for preventative care issues from colds and flus, digestive health, cardiovascular health, depression, you name it. And herbs can really give us that value as human beings, and again, like I said, animals. So we have over 100 different varieties, and our herbs are all organic, non-GMO, and sustainably farmed. And we have a couple of different varieties of herbs, and this is the way herbs can actually be broken down. So herbs can be broken down into 3 to 4 different categories. So category number 1 that people are commonly used to knowing herbs is from a culinary perspective, right? So you can think about your kitchen herbs. So rosemary, thyme, sage. People are pretty familiar with those types of herbs because they use them in their cooking. And then there's medicinal purpose herbs that are specifically used just for medicinal purposes. So herbs like that are ones like St. John's wort or valerian root or blue vervain that people will use for a medicinal purpose only and not necessarily use them for cooking. And then we have those dual herbs, which rosemary, thyme, and sage fall into that category where they can be used for culinary and medicinal purposes as well. There are also some of these herbs here that that are also spices, because we use the spices as well for medicinal purposes too. But then spices can also be added in as flavoring agents, which kind of cut a little bit of the bitterness of the herbs, or that earthy flavor that herbs can really have. And so what is the real definition of the difference between an herb and a spice? So an herb is usually the root, the stem, the leaf, the flower of the plant that we're using, and it's all of those different elements of the plant itself. And the spice is the seed, and that's how it's defined. So an herb and a spice, those different properties of the plant, and that's how they're defined. Herbs can also be used for magical purposes or cosmetic purposes. So people will actually combine some of these herbs for any type of magical practice that they're doing. They'll create mojo bags with them for intention, for protection, for planetary alignment, things like that. And then people will also use them for body care products, beauty, incense, ceremonial purposes. A lot of people are familiar with Native American type ceremonies, where Native Americans will use herbs such as sage, tobacco, sweetgrass. And so stay tuned for my next video where I actually talk about smudging and the different herbs that you can use for that. So thank you, stay tuned.